It was quite okay. Quite okay in a sense, great and wonderful. Not only okay, but going quite well. Like at least I got to feel that it's sort of uh, the what we say high level panel of seasoned people who do sit in panel almost every day or every week and keep hearing their expressions, opinions, debate and discussions, and with a lot of confidence, clarity. So at a par that feel was there. At par that feel was there. So it's good to see sitting in the delegate on the delegate chair and how the panel discussions are happening. Good. Over to you, Manisha Didi,
Thank you, Mia.
and all the best. Yeah.
We'll certainly implement the suggestions offered by you, Mia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Manisha Didi, we may start this time.
Yes. So, very good afternoon to all present. I am Dr. Manisha Gupta from UHV team. I welcome all panelists and attendees and those people who are joining from YouTube on rehearsal 3 of 9th International Conference on Human Values in Higher Education. We are into panel on education, and today we will be discussing the vision for holistic value-based education. For that, I'll invite Dr. Anita Santaji Mane, who is PhD in Commerce from Shivaji University, having academic experience of 27 years, and she has been actively involved in value education since August 2020. Dr. Anita, over to you for UHV point of view on vision of holistic value-based education. Thank you.
Thank you, Manisha Gupta. Good afternoon and namaste to all. I'm Dr. Anita Santaji Mane. I welcome you all to the 9th International Conference on Human Values in Higher Education. I welcome the moderator, panelists, and delegates to the second panel discussion on holistic value-based education. The theme is Vision for Holistic Value-Based Education. As we have heard a part of it in a keynote session, and it was discussed in our panel 1 also, and that is the need for holistic based education. In education, we have given priority, or we are giving priority to values over the skills in education. The present education focuses more on skill based, but while going with solution centric approach, we need to work on holistic value-based education skill. This ensures right understanding in every child, the capacity to live in relationship with other human beings. Similarly, the capacity to identify the need of physical facility that helps the skill and practice for sustainable production of more than what is required, which leads to right utilization of physical facility, leading to a feeling of prosperity. The basic guidelines for value education, it needs to be universal, rational, verifiable, and leading to harmony. Now, coming up to today's discussion, that is vision. Vision at individual level. It highlights the UHB for holistic development, transformation of human consciousness, that is high level consciousness, Holistic development is essentially the transformation to human consciousness. Here, as human beings, we mostly give privilege or give more support to physical facilities, followed by relationship, and then to right understanding. This consciousness is lower level consciousness. When we have first need as physical facility, it is deprivation, exploitation, and depriving others from the facilities. As we don't have harmony within ourselves, the relationship between other human being is also not there, due to which there is unhappiness, making others unhappy. And this also, because of this, there is no right understanding in the self. Now, from here, our transformation needs to be there. Now, the transformation progresses from low level consciousness, which we call it as inhuman consciousness, to human consciousness, high level consciousness, where we give a first priority to right understanding, that is right understanding in the self, then followed by relationship with human beings, where we give feelings the priority, where trust, respect is there, which leads to mutual happiness, and then to physical facilities with the rest of the nature, that leads to mutual prosperity. Here, holistic development and transformation to human consciousness. For this, we need to ensure right understanding in every child, the capacity to live in relationship with other human, the capacity to identify the need of physical facility, the skills and practice of sustainable production for more than what is required. This leads to the feeling of prosperity. Now, once we are working on an individual level, we need to work on societal level also. Once I start exploring within myself, I start working for the society. The right understanding in myself, it leads to harmony in the human being and at all the four levels. That is understanding in oneself, individual, the family, the society, the nature and existence, which relates to justice in relationship, where I give relationship as a second priority with other human beings. It starts with being from a family to the world family, and then participation in the larger order with the nature, from family order to the world order. All this leads to human consciousness, where societal development starts. I start participating in societal development. Now, human education, human consciousness, human values, human conduct, that helps us to have human society. Earlier, we had from physical facilities as a priority, then relationship, and then the right understanding. But going for the transformation through education, we see that overall transformation is required. Personal transformation happens, and then the societal transformation happens. Here, when we talk of right understanding and right feeling in every individual, it is a family-based society. When we talk about in every individual, health is there, prosperity in every family, fearlessness, trust, justice in the society, and coexistence, mutual enrichment in the nature and existence. This is what we see when we have human education, that is so from personal transformation to societal transformation. Now, what is the expected outcome? That what are the common graduate attributes? As a student, we need to develop in them a holistic vision of life. They need to understand the broader purpose of goals of human life. They need to act responsibility, social responsibility they need to have. We need to inculcate in them acting in a ways that fulfill the relationship and benefit the society. We need to train them. We need to work on with them for the environmental responsibility, engaging in work that preserves the nature and fulfills the need for physical facilities too. Then working on ethical human conduct, making ethical decisions. When we talk of health and hygiene, health in individual health and family health in society, health should be maintained everywhere. That is maintaining well-being and cleanliness. And also we need to make the students aware of excellence, for excellence we can say, and gratitude for all. Once they start understanding this, it will be much more easier, recognizing the value of merits and importance of gratitude. To sum up, vision for holistic and value-based education at individual level, transformation to human consciousness. At societal level, transformation to human society. That is human education, where personal transformation takes place. And once a personal transformation is taking place, the person will be able to help the society. That is societal transformation, where common graduate attributes are holistic vision of life, social responsible behavior, environmentally responsible work, ethical human conduct, having competence and capabilities for maintaining hygiene and health, and then respect for excellence, that is merit and graduate for all. We are also thankful to the AICT. AICT has taken this program in 2017, and in the first year, they have implemented 3 weeks students induction program, which is mandatory. Then it has also made in the second year a 3-grade mandatory course on human values, and there is a minor degree in human values for faculties, for what do we say, management and others. It has been having a faculty development program, management development programs. So AICT is also helping us a way to develop the society. Now, let me call for today's moderator, Ms. Lipika Mitra, Director, Bhushala Parent Coach. She is a BE in Electrical Engineering from Government Engineering College, Bilaspur. She is actively involved with Universal Human Values Pro Bono since 2023. I welcome Ms. Lipika Mitra to continue with the session. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Anita, for putting the UHV point of view towards the vision for holistic value-based education. And I must say that it was definitely an insightful one. Transformation to human consciousness that will result into a humane society. Wow, that's quite a dream to visualize, isn't it? And through holistic value-based education, there will be personal transformation, and which will ultimately lead to the societal transformation. I must say that that's quite a feat. I can't wait to listen to know your views on the same, dear panelists. So let me welcome all of you for today's discussion. So let me start with, can I have the slide for the panelist, Dr. Anita?
Yes, Didi, just 1 second.
Yeah. So let me start with Mr. Mahesh Kore. He is an assistant professor of civil engineering from Pune Vidyarthi Grihas College of Engineering and Technology. He's from Maharashtra. He is involved with human values related activities since June 2021. Then we have Dr. Amipara Manidal. Dr. Amipara is a retired principal from Engineering College of Gujarat Technical University, and he is associated with UHV from last 4 years. Then we also have the pleasure to have Dr. Sunil Kumar N. I am unable to see the slide, Dr. Anita.
Didi, I don't have that slide. You can continue.
Okay, so we have Dr. Sunil Kumar N. He is from QSAT, and he has been involved with UHV activities since a long time. He's also a student counselor and have been involved with faculty development program as well. Then we have Ms. A. Geeta. So I welcome you, all the panelists, for today's discussion on this vision for holistic value-based education. Right? So I will request you to keep your responses within 2 minutes so that we can hear all the panelists out here. We will also be launching polls during the session. So request all the delegates to respond to the polls. Yes. So what do you have to say, Mr. Mahesh? we saw the proposal for this giant vision to have a humane society. What is your vision of higher education? Yes, Mr. Mahesh? Can't hear you, Mr. Mahesh. You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Mahesh, Mr. Mahesh. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Lipika. Basically, when we say about vision is kind of a thing that we need to, I can say, see whenever we found the goal of something. Like, for example, when we say education is needed, yes, it is needed. But when we focus only on skill based, and that we have seen in earlier, like I listened earlier sessions also, where we see that need is there for value education. So how do we see that the vision that will help to see our students at larger perspective? They must be able to participate, and for them we need to impart such values with students. And for that, I feel always it is a collaborative role. It cannot happen by a single thing. Like whenever we say it is happening with only with the values or only with the skills, it has to go hand in hand. Whenever we need something that is I can say required for humans, that we need values more. But now as focus is there, so if we go along with the skill values, it will definitely make an impact. So I feel for vision, the institution should work together, as well as the societal other partners like the companies, that organizations, the companies working with the students, those as well as training partners, they can be also part of it, so that the things will be very visible in the impact form. That is from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh, for sharing that. That was wonderful sharing, I must say. So what you spoke about, that, the student needs to have this larger perspective so that they can participate. Well said. And we also spoke about this collaboration of both skill and values, that they go hand in hand, right? And you spoke about the stakeholders of the society, the institutes, the organizers, the society, everybody, put collaborative effort towards this value education to make this larger perspective of life. So thank you for that. Now let me come to you, Dr. Amipara. Do you also see the same vision when it comes to higher education, or is it different from what Mr. Mahesh just described?
Good afternoon and greetings to all panelists. Thank you, Dr. Lipika, for giving a chance. Now, basically, with the advancement of technology, society as a whole, we entrapped in the vicious circle of accumulation of physical facility. Now, this it has given a lot of technology has given a lot of development part, but if we think heart by heart, are we happy? Do we have a just and undivided society? So, during need part, that was envisaged that something is required to be done, and that is given a path for a value education. Now, if we look at the higher education students, they are tomorrow's stakeholder for the society. They are going to be a ruler. They are going to be a corporate people. So, my vision is, or my opinion is, we must train those people who are going to handle tomorrow the society, and they are the people who will give us tomorrow an undivided and just society. So essentially, we need to train our people, our students, and training part is right understanding, right feeling. That is very important. till the time we do not have a right understanding, we cannot have a right feeling. Once right feeling comes, then they will have a right relationship, right values. And if start living with a right value and work with the right value, and then definitely we can have a just and undivided society. So my vision is we must train our next generation, especially higher education people, those who are going to take care of the society on a right direction with the value education, so that in fact happiness is lying within us. So that is what is we need to impress upon, and we need to create a tomorrow's sustainable society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amipara, for that wonderful sharing and thoughtful sharing, I would say. I spoke about the undivided society, and the students are going to be tomorrow's stakeholders. They're going to be working in the corporates. They're going to be the policymakers. And well said that, happiness lies within us, and with the right values, we will be able to live rightly. Thank you for sharing that. So let me now welcome Dr. Sunil Kumar. Let me know your view on the subject. What is your vision of higher education, Dr. Sunil Kumar?
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Deepika Mitra, for the question. Good afternoon, all the panelists. Greetings to all. Yeah, so when we look at education, for example, when I got educated, my purpose was to, what is being told to me was I have to get educated, get a good job, get good salary, and then lead a successful life. So success was measured in terms of this getting a good job, getting good salary, etc. That is physical facility. Even now also, this notion is there. So from the outset, from the broad sense, if you look at, the purpose of education is to be the transformation. Now, when I have the previous notion, as I said, that is when the purpose of education is just for physical facility, that is not ensuring a fulfilling life for a human being. This I can see from my own example. So nobody has helped me, or rather taught me how to be happy in the 23 years of my education. And this kind of an education has happened recently only. Now this transformation, when we look at, this transformation is essential in everyone's life. And the education is helping us to get transformed. And what is the meaning of this transformation? Is it just for getting physical facility or for something more than that? So when we explore, we can see that the purpose of education is something more than this, to ensure this transformation for a person, to ensure the relationship with the other human beings. And again, when we see that we need this the relationship, what is a harmonious relationship? So what is this harmony in this feelings, or harmony in this the relationship is being ensured, is being taught by helping us to understand what is right understanding. So the purpose of education is not just for physical facility. That is why what I could understand from my own experience, because I was missing something. Earlier, if I say as an example, I was not happy with things which are not favorable to me. Whenever I see that my discussions are not being undertaken rightly, rather favorably, I was depressed. And now I can see that it is not so. So I can work with myself to propose the whatever is required, and however the other person is taking it, I am comfortable with that. So in one sentence, what I could say is that the purpose of education, or the vision of education, is to ensure a transformation in a human being, as well as in turn ensuring this transformation in the society. Over to you. Thank you.
I must say, Dr. Sunil Kumar, that was a profound sharing of your experience. Yes. So nobody taught me how to be happy. That is quite right, that nobody actually taught us how to be happy. And why do we need this education? What is the purpose of this education? Is it to only fulfill this, but only to fulfill this, the requirement of physical facility, or is it to also have this harmony in relationship? Thank you for sharing that. With this, let me come to Ms. A. Geeta. So, Ms. Geeta, what do you have to say? How do you visualize this higher education?
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Lipika Mitra. Very nice discussion. Very nice discussion going on. So I too agree with that, what the opinions of other co-panelists they have stated so far. From my own experience, I also can share that I was able to see that one has to lead a fulfilling life. And to lead a fulfilling life, as discussed in day one about the need for a value-based education, we are having three components, namely right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. So only when we are able to prioritize these three in the right order, one is capable of leading a fulfilling life. So this is the vision of a humane society. And to achieve this vision in the humane society, definitely this has to be inculcated, this has to be incorporated in higher education. So when this is incorporated in higher education, clearly we can see there is a change, a transformation towards a human society. Suppose if we look at the crisis that is happening across us, around us, the main drawback is lack of right understanding. Not only one's life is at stake, we could see how families, the society, and nature are affected because of this lack of right understanding. So when this is set right, I'm sure that it will reflect at all four levels. So therefore, the vision of humane society is to fulfill the needs at all four levels. So when this is the purpose and objective, definitely it has to be incorporated in higher education, maybe through formal education or informal education, school education or higher education. Somewhere we have to start this value-based education, which will be reflected as a vision for the humane society. So this is my reflection. Thank you, Dr. Lipika. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yes. Yes, nice, Ms. A. Geeta. Thank you for sharing. I must say, this is an amazing experience that you're sharing, that one has to live a fulfilling life. And with the priority that is proposed here, one can live a fulfilling life, and this has to be incorporated in higher education. And you can see that the crisis that we have in society and nature today is because of this lack of understanding. So thank you, everyone. That was a great start to begin with the first round of our panel discussion. And we're discussing about the vision of a human society through holistic value-based education. So if you want a humane society, then the education has to be human. That's the conclusion we can make from this discussion maybe. So there are a lot of people connected via YouTube or connected via Zoom. So they can send us your questions and our tech team can pose this question to us and we can take them up. So thank you all for watching. So let's go ahead with our second round of discussion. And let me ask this to Mr. Mahesh again. So what the proposal is saying is that education has to focus on conscious development of mankind. And the priority has to be first for developing right understanding, followed by feelings and relationship, and then physical facilities. I would request you, Mr. Mahesh, to kindly share your views on this.
Yes, thank you again. Now it's very kind of a question that we could ask every person to himself or herself. Suppose if we get only physical facility, will it be, I can say, a good thing or will be a happy situation for us? And by exploring ourselves, we can see that just by getting physical facility, things would not work out. So we need something more. And that we could find also that relationship is everywhere needed. And if we could give that vision to the students, definitely they could see also. What is happening now, every media, right from, I can say, the parents also, they are also focusing only and only on the physical facility. And that the students can also see that they will get the money, they will get the physical facility, and that would be sufficient for them. But somewhere there is a room that they need to understand the relationship is also important. And for that, we need to develop the very, very important is right understanding. As we say, it is not only a sole role, as I told in the first question also, it is not only the sole role of parents, not is the role of teachers or the education, but it is a combined effect where we will always try to work on development of the right understanding. And definitely things can be possible, because I feel if we develop that, the results will be very visible. Now, as I see in the morning presentations also in other like institutions, what I found is, as these institutions are working on development of right understanding, student can see that. See, that's why if we compare the earlier time, now fights are increasing, but some institutions has portrayed by imparting values that such kind of indisciplined behavior has been reduced drastically. So I feel right understanding development is a major role, and it is well said in your keynote lecture also. This is my take. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mahesh, for that keen for your keen observation on what is happening with the students that you experience, that you shared, that with value education, this experience of focusing on the physical facility that has reduced. And well said that, the parents and teachers and all the stakeholders have to come together to, to put this education, this value education into the picture, right? So thank you for that. Now let me welcome you, Dr. Amipara Maninal. So do you see the need for conscious development of mankind? And the priority has to be first for developing right understanding, followed by feelings and relationship, and then physical facilities. What is your view on this, Dr. Amipara?
Thank you again, Dr. Lipika. I agree with Dr. Mahesh, the priority what he has said. Basically, if you see today's scenario, that let's say if you have a huge bungalow, lot of latest facilities available in the world you have within your bungalow, but you are living alone. Is it possible to continue with that life? I am sure not possible. Why? Because we really need a relationship. We live within with relationship only. So we need maybe parents, we may need a spouse, we may need children, we may need even friends, neighbors, etc. So it essentially, in spite of having all physical facilities, you cannot be happy. You cannot live. So really, the source of happiness is not a physical facility, but essentially a relationship. Now, if you think one step further, if you do not have a right understanding in a relationship, can relations maintain? We are seeing in the society a lot of even within spouse, with children and parents, quarreling, brothers, sisters. Everywhere we find a lot of quarreling because of the misunderstanding. So even with a physical facility and relationship, if you do not have a right understanding, cannot be live happily. So essentially, above these two, right understanding is on the top. So if we have a right understanding, with right understanding, we can maintain our relationship. With right understanding, we can decide what really physical facility we require. So with a bare minimum physical facility, also we can live, but we cannot live without relationship. And we can not have we cannot maintain relationship without right understanding. So looking to this scenario, right understanding comes on the top. So first priority is the right understanding, next comes the relationship, and next comes the physical facility. And today's society is giving a lot of importance on a physical facility, and hence we are deprived and unhappy. Now, to come out of this deprivation and unhappiness, it is essential to have a transformation from priority of physical facility to priority of right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. I am not saying physical facility is not required. Definitely it is required, but it is required with the right understanding. Thank you.
Yes, that was an that was an enlightening sharing, Dr. Amipare, that with all the physical facilities, if you are living alone, will it be okay, right? To understand relations, and you spoke about that, to understand relationship, we need understanding, right understanding. And today, if we see this misunderstanding that we have within us is leading to the unhappiness around. So thank you for sharing that. Now, let me come to you, Dr. Sunil Kumar, since you have been involved with the UHV activities for some time now, and you are also counseling students. So what is your view about this conscious development of mankind and about the priority that is proposed here?
Yeah, thank you,
Yes.
Ms. Lipika Mitra, for this question. I listened to the other panelists also. Nice to listen to them. I would say that the discussion is upon this development of consciousness. Are we really looking upon this consciousness part? In the education, when we consider the human being is equal to body, if that is what we think, then we try to develop the body and the requirement of the body only, the need of the body. We work for that part only. But now when we can see that the human being is not just the body alone, the human being is the consciousness and the material, that is the self and the body in coexistence. That's what we propose in the UHV workshops also. So to develop this consciousness, we need to develop. As you rightly pointed out, in my experience with my students, when I offer this students counseling, whenever somebody comes to me, what I like to do is I won't try to advise that student, but I try to put on my own experience. When I was in their shoes at that time, what I was experiencing with whatever education I was getting, what was my experience? This is how I try to put forth and make it like a conversation, like in the form of exploration, not just prescribing something. You do this, you do that, do that. That may not work out. If you give solutions to them, that may not work out also, because they have to find their own solutions. Now, for that, this development of consciousness is very essential. When we say that, how to do this? Now, as my previous speaker said, Dr. Amipara and Dr. Mahesh said, so in addition to the physical facilities for a fulfilling life, what is required is relationship. And this relationship is ensured through right feelings. Now, whenever we interact with people, are we ensuring these right feelings within, and are we sharing that? I have to look into that. I can see whenever I remember regarding a person, what comes to me is his behavior. And his behavior may be acceptable to me or not acceptable to me. And accordingly, I also change my program. Now I can see that, no, what is required is right understanding that the intention of every human being is same. I mean, I don't know if I can say this in this forum, but let us try to see that when I see I want to be happy, everyone else also wants to be happy. So I am able to see this. So from this very simple, very basic aspiration, I can see that every human being wants to be happy, and that is a basic aspiration. That is why we need to have this right understanding upon the everything else. As Dr. Mipara said, right understanding upon physical facility, the need for that, and right understanding upon the relationship part also. So my priority is also this right understanding, relationship, and physical facility. Over to you. Thank you.
Yes, so that was quite impressive to share your experience with the students, you know, instead of telling them, you know, what needs to be done. And you spoke about that in the education, this consciousness is completely missing. And also, are we interacting with right feelings with other people? And I see that you also spoke about this intention of every human being is same. This is quite revealing, I must say. So thank you for sharing your views, Dr. Sunil Kumar. And now let me come to Mrs. Agita. So Mrs. Agita, what would be your views about this proposal where, we are saying that the conscious development of the human mankind is necessary? And what do you have to say about this priority? Yes, Dr. Gita.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Lipika, for giving me this second round of chance. Yeah, I do agree that education has to focus on conscious development. As one of the co-panelists, Dr. Sunil Kumar, was also mentioning, nowhere in our education system, nowhere in our formal education, we are studying about conscious development. Since it is not covered, since it is not highlighted, even I myself, I don't have any idea about conscious. So when I don't have any idea about conscious, how I am going to think about its development? So this is the current state of our education. So what is, if no one is bothering about conscious development or consciousness? Yes, that is what we are facing around us. We are seeing so many discrimination, differentiation based on caste, creed, nation, religion, community, nation. So all this discrimination, differentiation is happening only because there is no recognition and appreciation of consciousness. So I can clearly see today we are hearing about war, terrorism, so many separatedness among the nations, among the countries, among the families, among the individuals. So what is the root cause for all this? So when we explore within ourselves, we can see that this is only because nowhere in our education we are studying about consciousness and its development. So there is a gap which has to be fulfilled. So how it can be fulfilled? Yes, based on the three priorities that were discussed on day one. Right understanding, relationship, followed by physical facilities. So when this awareness is given to our students, our children, definitely we can have a humane society. So this is our dream. This is the dream for all the human beings to have a humane society. So when education focuses on conscious development, all the crises that we are facing can be addressed. This is my view. Thank you, Dr. Lipika.
Yes, that was remarkable, Mrs. A. Gita, that you did not have any idea about the consciousness, and I think that is the situation that we all have gone through. So how can we develop this consciousness? The differences that we see, the discrimination, the wars that is happening, you're able to see that this is due to this, and that we are not able to recognize this consciousness, and we are only focusing on the body. And you are able to see that there's a gap, and this can be fulfilled with this proposal. Nice, Ms. Agita. So thank you, everyone. This was an in-depth exploration, I would say, into the consciousness of human being as to what a human being wants, right? Understanding of things, relationship, and prosperity. And I think that comes from a rigorous study and deep understanding on the subject. And with that, we conclude the second round of our panel discussion on the vision of a humane society through holistic value-based education. And we can certainly see that lack of this understanding is leading to the unhappiness in the families today, and a feeling of deprivation, which is leading to exploitation and deprivation of others and nature. So, all right, let's go ahead with our third round of discussion now. Let me ask this to you, Mr. Mahesh, and I would request you all to, keep your responses a little short on account of the shortage of time. So, Mr. Mahesh, today you can see there's a lot of emphasis on research and innovation, being in the field, right? So do you think if we emphasize on value education, the institutions will not be able to progress in this direction. What do you have to say?
Yes. Thank you again, Ms. Lipika. Not at all. I feel, yes, research innovation is important. Rather, I would say if we do the research that would be value based, that will be more helpful to the society. Because if you look at the current research, that is not that much helpful to the society, because it is completely or more or less like physical facility, I can say consumption wise. So if we do give more emphasis on research component where the values are there, that's why I feel even the higher authorities, UGC and EICD, they are also putting the value, I can say, component in education to the research students also. So I feel values are more important with the research, and that would definitely, I can say, leads to the good society, and that would help to the society also. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mahesh, for sharing that. So you see that this research, when it will be value-based, will be helpful to the society. And it's good to see that the higher institutions, higher authorities in our country are putting efforts towards that. Thank you. Yes, so let me come to you, Dr. Amipara. What would be your views? Do you think that if we emphasize on value education, the institutions will not be able to progress in this direction? What do you have to say?
Thank you again, Dr. Deepika. I agree with Dr. Mahesh. With a value education, if you do research and development, it will definitely will not hamper the process, but it will provide a right direction. What is required is a right direction, and the right direction gives with the right understanding. Now, what we expect is in a just and undivided society, recyclability. And recyclability is very essential. And for that, while during a research, we need to understand that any research what we are doing, it has to be recyclable. It do not create a pollution. These are the very essential aspect. Say, for example, if we are working on an atomic part, we can research on atom bomb as well as using atomic things, we can create energy also. Whether you want to generate power or you want to generate atom bomb. This is a kind of small example. One more example I would like to cite here. During my R&D experience, we long back we had developed a small attenuator which was a sealed one, and when we designed it, it was costing about 50 rupees, and two customers we were charging 500. So this is a kind of accumulation we are doing. So what I mean is, in nutshell, it has to be research has to be with the right direction. If you do with the right direction, it will help to the society, will not hamper the society, and still it will not stagnate the progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amipara, for sharing and your profound experience. You see that with the right direction, this research can be value-based, right? And this recyclability part is one aspect that you see is most important. Right. So thank you for sharing that. So let me come to you now, Dr. Sunil Kumar. You might have experienced this with your student as well, since you have seen this earlier before the UHB implementation in your institution, maybe. So what do you think? The institution will not be able to progress in this direction if we emphasize more on value-based education?
Olivia Mitra, yes, very much, I would say. Lot of projects, lot of research work, lot of activities that have been going on. Now, we have to look at what is the purpose of this research ultimately. Is it to get some publications? Is it to get some, say, promotion for the teachers, for example? For the students, they want to get a job. So for a better job, you have to go for a research. If that is the purpose, then the products and the process which we bring out of this research may be fruitless many times. This is not a very general statement, but I could see that many times the research reports are just lying within the book. It is not coming out to the society. So what I see is that when we go for this sustainability as part of production, as part of processes, as part of this research work, there is the value guidance for sure. So when the students or the researchers, the scholars are knowing the importance of this research, how it is helping in society, and how it is helping the nature, and how it is helping the whole units of the nature, including the mankind, then there is an impact upon the research work for sure. So let us try to ensure this in each and every one of the projects of the BTech students or the MTech students or the research, the PhD work, whatever it is. Then there is going to be a sustainability ensured. That is what I try to put forth. Yeah, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Dr. Sunil Kumar, for that deep understanding and sharing your experience. So what is the purpose of the research? Yes. Is it to just get a job, or is it a mere publication? You also agree with sustainability part that Dr. Amipara just shared. And whatever we do, whatever research we do, is it to improve the society? Yeah. Thank you for that profound sharing. Now let me come back to Dr. Ms. A. Geeta. So do you want to include anything here in addition to what Dr. Sunil Kumar just mentioned, or do you have a separate viewpoint, Ms. A. Geeta?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Lipika. I do agree with the reflections of other co-panelists. I would just like to add one more reflection of mine. Yes, we are not saying, or we are not against technology, we are not against research and innovations. Our submission is all the research and innovation that is carried out, let it be value-based. Let it be guided by values. So this is our simple proposal. So yes, the development of science and technology, research and innovation is needed for an individual, is needed for the country in the right sense. So when it will be in the right sense, if it is purely guided by values. So this is my reflection, Ms. Lipika. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. A. Geeta, for adding that to the discussion, to our discussion, that we are not against the technology or the research, because most often this is what is the message that goes when we talk about the value education. And the research let it be value-based. Thank you for sharing that. So with that, we come to the conclusion part of our discussion amongst the panelists. Now let me go to the delegates present here from across the world. If you have any questions, you can throw that to the panelists that we have here. You can even choose the panelist from whom you would like to hear the answer. So yes, you can raise your hand and the mic will be provided to you.
Thank
Is there
you,
anyone?
Dr. Lipika,
Yes.
for providing an opportunity to the delegates. I guess we all are enjoying these discussions and the keynote address of this conference. I'm still not clear about, like you have been said, I mean, and all the panelists are referring the one word, right understanding, right understanding, right understanding so many times. I am not getting idea about what it is. So if any panelist would like to throw some light on it, that whenever you're saying right understanding, what does it mean? And how
Yes,
it
thank
can be
you.
developed, and how it can be developed through the education.
Thank you for putting that question, Shri Umesh Jadavji. Let me throw that question to Dr. Sunil Kumar, maybe. Would you like to respond to that?
Yeah, I would like to put my view upon that. So in any activity, let it be education, let it be doing any work, what is at the base? What is the aspiration of any human being? Are you able to see that you want to be comfortable? You want to be in a state of, let's say, peace. Whatever I am doing, let me be in a very comfortable kind of a state. Now, if this can be seen at the base in whatever you are doing, whatever you want to get, whatever you want to make out of it, we can say the basic aspiration of every human being is to be in a state of happiness. Now, what is essentially required to be in this state of happiness, in this very comfortable state, that is what we refer to as right understanding in a very simple sense. But we need to look into more aspects, but within that limited time frame of this discussion, I put forth like this. That is what I understand from this. I require this right understanding to fulfill, for a fulfilling life. And for a fulfilling life means to fulfill that I have to be comfortable, I have to be happy, I have to be in a state of harmony. So for this, what is required is what I have to ensure in this life. So this is what I refer to as right understanding. There can be wrong understanding also. When we say right understanding, there can be something which is leading towards unhappiness, towards this terrorism, towards this war, or all this kind of uncomfortable situation. I don't want to be uncomfortable. I want, whenever I'm in uncomfortable situation, I want to come out of that. I want to be in a comfortable state. So what do I require for that? So I am in search of that. And this is my right understanding.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for that answer.
Yes. Okay. So thank you, Shri Mahesh Jadavji, for asking that question. And I am sorry that we will not be able to have any questions due to the shortage of time. So thank you, Dr. Sunil Kumar, for the answer and bringing this focus again to the happiness, the continuous happiness part, right? So we spoke about the higher education, the vision of this human society, the conscious development of mankind, and the priority of this right understanding over physical facility. So in this rapidly changing landscape of 21st century, we can say that higher education stands at crossroads. And as we embrace the technological advancements, the global connectivity and socio-cultural shifts, there is an urgent need to recalibrate the purpose of education beyond just academic excellence or vocational training. So the vision for holistic value-based higher education is one that balances this intellectual rigor with the development of values and fostering relationships, fostering well-rounded individuals who are not only skilled professionals, but also compassionate, ethical, and responsible global citizens. It was a nice, enriching experience discussing this vision with you. There were multiple inputs taken. The panelists were very optimistic and encouraging delegates. We will summarize the output of this entire session in the closing ceremony, in the closing session that we are going to have tomorrow, 12 noon. I'm hopeful that we all can collectively make this possible, this human society that we envision, where happiness and prosperity is ensured generation after generation through this holistic value-based education. So we will be closing the sessions for today, and we will have the panel discussion on implementation tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. But as you know, we are having this conference on 2 shifts, and our next shift will begin at 7 p.m. with the inauguration session. So if you are interested or missed the earlier inauguration session, then you can certainly join the same. Thank you, everyone.